slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't.
Hey team, I hope you're all doing well. I know a lot of people have the question of how to mentally prepare for a race, and everybody has their own routine. I know for me personally, I do the very best I can as I'm preparing for my races to train significantly faster in training than I'm planning on racing in the race. And of course, I try to still keep it fun, still try to make sure that I'm hydrating well, trying to pay attention to all the other fundamentals that I know are going to help me in the end. And I know for a lot of you, as it is for me, it's a challenge to get out there and to continue to stay on your same routine over several months. This is not an easy process to run fast, and it takes time, it takes patience. And so mentally preparing for your race, I definitely think that it's that consistent effort over a long period of time that's going to really pay the highest amount of dividends for you in your preparation. And I think if you don't find a way to stay motivated, if you don't have a strong why for what you're doing, it's going to make the process of training and preparing for your races so much more difficult. And so you have to find out what is driving you to get out there and put in the work. Is it a weight goal? Is it a time goal that you have? Most of us as distance runners or middle distance runners have specific time standards that we're aiming on running. And for a lot of runners, it's just the act of getting out there and preparing for a race and not really focusing so much on time, but just getting out there and experiencing what it feels like to push the body hard over many minutes or many miles or kilometers, and then trying to go out there and run a race and see what you are capable of. Now, I always talk about mental training. Mental training is something that a lot of runners don't always focus on. If you're mentally preparing for a race, your visualization standards have to go up as well, just as your physical standards have to go up. You know, if all you're doing is focusing on physical training and not really prepping mentally for what you're training to do, then you're really only doing 50% of the work. I think that mental training and really mental training, you don't need to be spending more than about 10 to 15 minutes each day visualizing yourself running at a fast pace, passing your competitors, getting across the finish line in record time. My best recommendation is to do this first thing in the morning or when you first go to bed at night, okay? Just spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself running strong. You know, you're seeing yourself performing at the desired effort that you're aiming for. And so that's training your subconscious mind to prepare you to mentally go after the type of time you're going for. You know, if you look at all the best runners, the best Winter Olympic sports, Summer Olympic sports, a lot of these athletes are visualizing themselves. You'll see them like, I've always watched the Winter Olympics. You know, when you're watching the Winter Olympics, you see these skiers, they have their eyes closed and you see their movements. They're visualizing themselves going down either the ski jumps or the slaloms. It's the same with runners. You know, I always talk about in other videos that I've made, the video of Billy Mills. I'll leave it below this video as well so you can check that out. And where he talks about how he trained mentally leading into the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games. And he said that he visualized himself over and over again winning the Olympic gold medal and running 28:25. And, you know, he said even in his workout book that he wanted to go after a 28:25. He was ready for a 28:25 10,000 meter time. And he ended up running 28:24 on a cinder track in Tokyo. And he was not the favorite going into that race. And so I do think there is it's definitely a very, mental training is definitely an important preparation tactic for you as an athlete. And I think that if you're spending your time, a healthy dose of your time each day, 10 to 15 minutes, not a great deal of your time, but just spending some time each day visualizing yourself competing at the level that you're dreaming about, that's going to train your subconscious mind like you train your body every single day, in your physical preparation. And I think it's very easy to get caught up in physical training and not spending any time mentally preparing for your race. A lot of athletes just don't even train at all mentally, don't ever prepare mentally as well at all, and still do relatively well. And again, the reason why they do well is, again, it's that the mental, running is both mental as well as physical training. In terms of running at a high level, it's combining both of that. So when you're out training physically, you are toughening yourself mentally as well. So you're still mentally preparing for your race, going out there, doing those track workouts, doing those hill repetitions, the tempo runs, the long runs. Long runs, that is definitely a mental task in and of itself. And it doesn't mean running fast is difficult mentally. Running slow for long periods of time is tough at times mentally as well. The fact that we go out there and we run in the heat, in cold weather, in windy conditions, in rainy conditions, snowy conditions, all of that plays a part in your mental toughness and mental callousing, and getting to a point where you can go out there, stay, and on a consistent basis can continue to put in the heavy work. So I think how to prepare mentally prepare for a race really comes down to that consistent action on a daily basis. What you're doing, your consistency with your mileage, gradually increasing your mileage, gradually extending the distance of your tempo runs is gonna make you mentally strong. Doing those speed workouts, doing those really tough VO2 max workouts where you're running 95 to 100% of max effort, that is mentally difficult. And especially when you're doing it solo. A lot of us, myself, I train solo. I train on my own. And I have trained with groups, and it is much easier when you're with someone else doing repeat Ks on the track or repeat 400s on the track. When you have somebody else out there helping you, that obviously lessens the mental strain that's on you. But when you're out there on your own, how to prepare mentally for a race? Train solo. So when you've pushed yourself extremely hard on your own, when you've done those long runs, 15 miles, 23 miles, you've done those really long runs at slow efforts as well as at faster mixed paced efforts by yourself, think of how much easier your race is going to be once you taper down and you've dropped your volume, you start dropping your intensity, and you have somebody else out there to help you along the way. So training by yourself is definitely a mental tactic, I think, that a lot of athletes overlook. Because, again, if you can push yourself through those hard workouts by yourself, it's going to be so much easier on you when you have someone else out there to help you along the way. So those are some of my tips in terms of how to mentally prepare for a race. Like I said, spend a few minutes each day, 10 to 15 minutes daily. Start integrating mental visualization into your preparation. And again, just see yourself performing at the level you want. See yourself passing runners. See yourself getting across the finish line with that goal time that you have in mind on the clock. That is going to help you. And again, routine, stay on this on a routine basis as well. And you don't have to do this first thing in the morning or first thing when you go to bed at night. You can do it when you're out running, when you're out doing your workouts. Just again, focus on staying relaxed, focused on staying strong and maintaining your form when you feel like you're having a difficult time out there, and remind yourself of what you're doing. Remind yourself of what you're going for. Okay, I too, training for Valencia right now, I have the same struggles as any other athlete. At 47, for me personally, and having been away from the sport for many years, it's a mental struggle sometimes to get out there and put in the work. But I know what I'm doing, what I'm going after is going to drive me to continue to do this. And the same with you. Just maintain your effort, maintain your enthusiasm, and you're going to succeed in whatever you're aiming for. So thank you so much for watching. Definitely, if you want to take your training and racing to the next level, feel free to check out the resources below these videos or on RunDreamAchieve.com. Thank you for all of my subscribers, whether you're new or old, and for all the support that you bring to this brand. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.